Hey everyone, welcome to my first YouTube channel. And if you're watching on IGTV, this channel will be to introduce and even demonstrate some of my natural hair products as they launch. I'll also be making some videos on informative content on different topics. And I'll be making some videos in Spanish, porque aquí se habla más de un idioma, English, Spanish, Dominican Spanglish, and even a little Portuguese. But I gotta brush up on that though. So my name is Crystal, that's Cristal, that's the Spanish spelling. I'm a proud New Yorker born and raised, second generation immigrant, but I grew up submerged in my Dominican roots. I identify as an Afro-Latina and very much proud of my heritage. Last year I officially established my own brand, Afro Honey, formerly known as Rizos and Honey. I handcraft my own natural hair products with organic ingredients. The base ingredient, of course, being miel, aka honey. The honey comes from my family's bee farm in Dominican Republic, so it's 100% raw, free of any pesticides, additives, etc. For those who have been wondering why I changed the name from Rizos and Honey to Afro Honey, there's a couple reasons why. The first is that I felt that it was too close to Rizos Curls, which is another great brand owned by a Latina. I actually was not aware of that brand until after I named mine. The idea to even make this or make my own line manifested it about over 2 years ago. It's not till now that I actually have the means to do it. But either way, it worked for the best because the second and the most important reason why is because from the beginning, the vision for my brand and its platform has been to educate and bring awareness to diversity in Latin America. I feel like we Afro-Latinx have had to explain our existence constantly. It's actually not till recently, the more recent years, that we've been having more exposure in the media, thanks to individuals like Amara La Negra, who's been unapologetically Black in her Latinidad. Shout out to her. I appreciate her and others who have lifted our community so much. So growing up, I always said that I was Dominican. I remember having to explain my existence. I got the whole, oh, I thought you was Black, you don't look Spanish, you don't look Dominican, all inaccurate in itself. But because of my family, I was very much aware of my Afro roots. I can't say though that growing up I ever said I'm Black. Back then, I feel like people didn't understand our history as much. I understood my roots, but I didn't know where I fit in all of that, if that makes sense. I was Latina, I was a Black Latina, I was a Black Latina born in the United States. It was all very confusing. Yeah, so I feel like even African immigrants have a hard time with identity in the United States, not because they're not, of course, Black, but because if they're not part of that Black experience, they're kind of like in a separate category almost. I feel like here, like if you're not African American, a lot of times you're not Black. So that isn't due to what, of course, diaspora. That's a topic for another time. So yeah, so that's the reason why I decided to change the name to Afro Honey. I feel like it does a better job at encapsulating my vision for the brand. The apostrophe dividing Afro is to further highlight diaspora, specifically the disconnect in the Black community. That is definitely something that I want to shed light on. So yeah, it's definitely more than just hair for me. I'm hoping that this is part of a bigger movement. Lastly, I want to incorporate my artwork. Many people are not aware of my creative side. I'm actually designing my own logo and packaging. I'm also hoping to incorporate some of my pieces into my merchandise and possibly even collabing with other artists. I just love that art can tell a story without words. I'm what you call an introvert, trying to extrovert myself. But with all that said, thank you so much. I hope that you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for your support. Stay tuned. Peace.